My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is May 21st, 2024. It is 5:12 a.m. I was finishing editing some of the videos that I recorded yesterday, and there's I quickly put a list together, and there's actually two tweets that I left out from yesterday's recording. I added them, and then I went to look for the original unveiling video of Charles, which I will share with you in a few. So let's look at the background of this channel. 4,197 subscribers, new subscribers, welcome. For those who are new, if you're not aware, I have two other channels. I'm part of Pure Service, where I focus mostly on Harry and Meghan's work, okay, or charities that they're focusing on, or they've mentioned, or they somewhat collaborate with. So when I do have time, I create videos on those specific topics about charities only. And I have PYTE YouTube channel, and that focuses mostly on Harry and Meghan in a positive way. The squad talking about their work and things like that. Okay, and then this channel, this is where all sort of royal topics discussion I bring it here. Okay, so let's look at some of the numbers. Estimate revenue $215.81, keeps on going down instead of up, but whatever. And there's analytics, 762 views in the last 48 hours. Okay, so most of my views, most of my recent videos were on PYTE, so that's why this channel don't have that much views, because the last video was a couple days ago. All right, so let's go on Twitter. Okay, so is that the one? Whoever. Yep, so that's the one. This is the original unveiling of Charles' portrait. The one that I missed yesterday's video will be the next one that I share here. Okay, I'm not gonna go on the oh, thank God, there's no comment here. Okay, whoever did that portrait was very talented for sure, but absolutely busting King Charles III's stone. It reeks of an evil presence, or as some have said, satanic tones. Phew, there's the eye here, and I bet the people of Britain pay for this atrocity one way or the other. There's one video, I do not have it, and I don't have time to look for it. Someone took the portrait of Charles. Actually, let's look at it first, and then I'll talk about what I'm thinking about. The part that most of the squad got out of it is this part here. Let me show you. Where he stuttered before he pulled the thing. Where is it? Like about here. Watch how he stuttered. Phew! Okay? So this, I only put it because I wanted to share the other one that I bookmarked, which I forgot yesterday's video. But the thing that I was gonna talk about is that someone took an image of this, okay, and then turn it around or upside down and put them together, and then you have that Satan kind of look of image that popped up between the two images. Okay, when I do find it, I'll put it in one of the videos. So let's go to the next one. This is the one that I forgot on my last video yesterday. This one. So now let me pause. This is one of many, because other people have done so many other versions of that. When he started, what? Come through, Yaadies. Why you on a deep? Was it? Why uno do it to 10 packs? There's the laugh here. I don't understand what this means, but whatever. But it's the startle that got me. Look. there's a version where they put Harry and Meghan, you know, the umbrella one, the famous umbrella picture of Harry and Meghan when they were in the UK. I think Meghan was wearing the blue dress of, was that singer from Pash? I forgot her name. From the Spice Girl. Yeah, so let me read some of the comment here. Long live the tampon king. There's the laugh here. People are just laughing. King Charles' treatment of his own flesh and blood bears witness to the character of colonialism, rift with racism, evidenced through history. Upset because Meghan soiled their bloodline. His behavior is proof of the ruthlessness of the monarchy as head of parliament. Reparations now. Alright, so there's the laugh here. That's commercial. People are laughing. So let's go to the next tweet. I don't have that much time before people start waking up. This is another tweet that I've somehow... did I miss that? Yeah, I think I forgot it on yesterday's video. So let's go over it really quickly. When they tell you Meghan was welcomed by that family, don't believe a word of it. They wanted her gone from day one. Pa and Willie did the most to prevent the relationship between Harry and Meghan. That's why they get zero sympathy from me for what karma is currently dishing out to them. Alright, so let's see here. From Spare, cloudy, blustery day. I jumped into the venerable old Land Rover, the ancient army ambulance that Grandpa had repurposed. Pa was behind the wheel. Willie was in the back. I got into the passenger seat and wondering if I should tell them both what I was intending. I decided against it. Pa already knew. I assumed, and Willie had already warned me not to do it. It's too fast, he told me. Too soon, I guess, what is it, asking Meghan to marry or something like that. Too soon. In fact, he actually been pretty discouraging about my even dating Meghan. One day, sitting together in his garden, he predicted a host of difficulties I could expect if I hook up with an American actress, a phrase he always managed to make sound like convinced felon. There's a part, I think I have it, where Meghan, I think it was the Oprah interview, or was it the docuseries where about being an actress and all of that. If I find it, I'll put it. Are you sure about her, Harold? I am, Willie. But do you know how difficult it's going to be? What do you want me to do? Fall out of love with her? The three of us were wearing flat caps, green jacket, plus 4 as if we play for the same sport team. In a way, I suppose we did. Pa driving us out into the field, asking about Meg, not with great interest, just casually. I think I have this part in the audio. Still, he then always asked, so I was pleased. She's good, thanks. Does she want to carry on working? Say again. Does she want to keep on acting? They were already planning to make her life a living hell. Okay, I don't know. I would think so. I expect she'll... I have this part. Instead of me reading it, I'll put the audio of Harry reading it. Alright, you could pause and read it. Okay. And I don't think all of these are in it, but if it does, there it is here. You could pause and read it.
Driving us out into the fields, asked about Meg. Not with great interest, just casually. Still, he didn't always ask, so I was pleased. She's good, thanks. Does she want to carry on working? Say again. Does she want to keep on acting? Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I expect she'll want to be with me, doing the job, which would rule out Suits, since they film in Toronto. I see. Well, darling boy, there's not enough money to go around. I stared. What was he banging on about? He explained, or tried to. I can't pay for anyone else. I'm already having to pay for your brother and Catherine. I flinched. Something about his use of the name Catherine. I remembered the time he and Camilla wanted Kate to change the spelling of her name because there were already 2 royal ciphers with a C and a crown above. Charles and Camilla. It would be too confusing to have another. Make it Catherine with a K, they suggested. I wondered now what came of that suggestion. I turned to Willie, gave him a look that said, "You listening to this?" His face was blank. Pa didn't financially support Willie and me and our families out of any largesse. That was his job. That was the whole deal. We agreed to serve the monarch, go wherever we were sent, do whatever we were told, surrender our autonomy, keep our hands and feet inside the gilded cage at all times, and in exchange the keepers of the cage agreed to feed and clothe us. Was Pa, with all his millions from the hugely lucrative Duchy of Cornwall, trying to say that our captivity was starting to cost him a bit too much? Besides which, how much could it possibly cost to house and feed Meg? I wanted to say, she doesn't eat much, you know, and I'll ask her to make her own clothes, if you like. It was suddenly clear to me that this wasn't about money. Pa might have dreaded the rising cost of maintaining us, but what he really couldn't stomach was someone new dominating the monarchy, grabbing the limelight. Someone shiny and new coming in and overshadowing him, and Camilla. He'd lived through that before and had no interest in living through it again.
Okay, so let's read some of the comments. Okay, and for the silly people who said, but Prince Charles and, what is it? Prince Charles? What's PC? Kate? Princess Kate? King Charles, KC, King Charles. Walk her down the aisle knowing what we know now. It was all for publicity. Yeah, the video that I just edited, I said that because someone raised that comment. Okay, it was just for, he got me. He definitely got me. Okay, he and the rest of the royal family and the royal institution were all plotting behind the scene to break Harry and Meghan, more so Duchess Meghan, because how popular they had become. There's that, exactly. When I heard Charles had said there's not enough money to go around, it was like, what the F? Is he talking about they're loaded? This was another way of keeping Harry in his place as the tag along to William and Kate. I don't think they thought Harry will ever marry and have his own little family. So evil the way they treated Harry. Yeah, from the beginning, since Princess Diana passed, you know, Harry has been on his own. It really is hard. With all their wealth and big homes and estate, why did Harry did not have one allocated to him? Everyone else had a large home. They just left Harry to Nat Cottage. Wasn't Harry still at Charles' place? Because in one of part in his book, he said he was eating over Charles' sink in the kitchen and stuff. But William already had his home and his family. I think that's when they were talking about the Invictus. You know, like there was some sort of a competition and things like that. And that particular section of the book.
The first step would be pitching the Royal Foundation board, which oversaw my charitable projects and Willie's and Kate's. It was our foundation, so I told myself, no problem. Also, the calendar was on my side. This was early summer 2013. Willie and Kate, weeks from having their first child, were going to be out of commission for a while. The foundation, therefore, didn't have any projects in the pipeline. Its roughly £7 million was just sitting there, doing nothing. And if these international warrior games worked, they'd enhance the foundation's profile, which would energize donors and replenish the foundation's accounts many times over. There'd be that much more to go around when Willie and Kate came back full-time, so I was feeling supremely confident in the days leading up to my pitch. But when the actual day came, not so much. I realized how badly I wanted this for the soldiers and their families, and if I'm being honest, for myself. And this sudden attack of nerves kept me from being at my best. Still, I got through it, and the board said yes. Thrilled, I reached out to Willie, expecting him to be thrilled as well. He was sorely irritated. He wished I'd run all this by him first. My assumption, I said, was that other people had done so. He complained that I'd be using up all the funds in the Royal Foundation. That's absurd, I spluttered. I was told only a £500,000 grant would be needed to get the games going, a fraction of the Foundation's money. Besides, it was coming from the Endeavour Fund, an arm of the Foundation I'd created specifically for veterans' recovery. The rest would come from donors and sponsors. What was going on here, I wondered. Then I realized, my God, sibling rivalry. I put a hand over my eyes. Had we not got past this yet? The whole heir versus spare thing? Wasn't it a bit late in the day for that tired childhood dynamic? But even if it wasn't, even if Willie insisted on being competitive, on turning our brotherhood into some kind of private Olympiad, hadn't he built up an insurmountable lead? He was married, with a baby on the way, while I was eating takeaway alone over the sink. Pa's sink. I still lived with Pa. Game over, man. You win.
Everyone else had a large home and they just left Harry to Nat Cottage, which he was too tall for. The whole situation was just BS. There's that here. Missington has never worked in her entire life, but Charles was feeding and clothing her. What? Yes, they never wanted Harry to be married, let alone to Meg. They even managed to get Thomas to fake a heart attack, hoping Meghan would postpone the wedding and go to Mexico for them to kill her. Yep, somebody said it. And Meghan is very, very smart for not going. This is why. Because over there, they could have easily paid anybody to do anything. Look, there are some Australian tourists, some surfers who were killed. I think about 2 or 3 of them, and there's a possibility one American is part of it, or just Australian. Okay, that's what they were gonna do. But through that, Meghan wrote the letter. This is how the lawsuit, the privacy letter, all came about. Because of that, Meghan did not go to Mexico. That is exactly that. Just the mention of Thomas' name makes me so angry. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't gonna be the father who's doing it, but the fact that he faked it, and then they were gonna intercept Meghan over there and do whatever it is that they were gonna do. Okay, they have people everywhere. Okay, that's an ad. Okay, I'm not gonna read this, so I might as well stop here. 100% all in what they did to try to discourage the relationship. Evil pair, like father, like son. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The other one is too much. I don't want to read. What is that? Okay, statement communication secretary to Prince Harry. All right, that was 8th. That's old. November 2016. Since he was young, Prince Harry has been very aware of the warmth that has been extended to him by members of the public. He feels lucky to have so many people supporting him and knows what a fortunate and privileged life he leads. He is also aware that there is a significant curiosity about his private life. He has never been comfortable with this, but he has tried to develop a thick skin about the level of media interest that comes with it. He has rarely taken formal action on the very regular publication of fictional stories that are written about him, and he has worked hard to develop a professional relationship with the media, focus on his work and the issues he cares about, which is true. That was back in 2016. Did their relationship okay, so there's Meghan's name, so that's what I was gonna ask. Okay, but the past week has been a line cross. His girlfriend, Meghan Markle, has been subject to a wave of abuse and harassment. Some of this has been very public. The smear on the front page of the national newspaper, the racial undertone of comment pieces, and the outright sexism and racism of social media trolls and web articles comments. Some of it has been hidden from the public. The nightly legal battles to keep a defamatory stories out of papers, her mother having to struggle past photographers in order to get to her front door, the attempt of reporters and photographers to gain illegal entry to her home, and the calls to police that follow, the substantial bribes offered by papers to her ex-boyfriend. Is what this guy, the actor, they were never boyfriend. I think they were just only co-workers. They did a film together and that was it. The bombardment, they worked together and then I think they went out for a drink or something. That's it. That's what I understand. I think this is who they're making reference to. Rex Simon, okay, of nearly every friend, co-worker, and loved one in her life. Prince Harry is worried about Miss Markle's safety and is deeply disappointed that he has not been able to protect her. It is not right that a few months into a relationship with him that Miss Markle should be subjected to such a storm. Meanwhile, his family was all behind it.
Right. So that may have been one of the things that upset her. And of course, the photographs were a setup. I was set up by a guy named Jeff Rayner and another guy named Dylan Howard, who was with American Media, I think. And the whole thing was a plan to actually mess up the wedding.
This is very sad. He knows commentators will say this is the price she has to pay and that this is all part of the game. This is not a game. This is somebody's life. Okay? He strongly disagreed. This is not a game. Okay? It is her life and his. Yep, that's exactly that. He has asked for the statement to be issued in the hopes that those in the press who have been driving this story can pause and reflect before any further damage is done. He knows that it is unusual to issue a statement like this, but hopes that fair-minded people will understand why he has felt it necessary to speak publicly. Alright, so that was put out November 2016. I was not even in the realm of, in the periphery of looking into that thing. Okay. I think I started looking more once they got married. That was it. Okay. And Spare, Harry talked about when he told William and Kate about Meghan. He asked they not tell anyone. Within days, the Straight Outta Compton article broke. You can tell me William didn't brief the tabloid. Tabloids were awful for a whole week and Harry released this. Yeah. That's his brother's doing. Yeah. This is sad. This guy is evil. My goodness. So sad. And it has gone on since November 2nd, 2016. This guy is evil. May he never find peace. Whatever he was wishing for his brother, okay, may he get it. This is freaking sad. Alright, let's go to the next one. I went deeper than I wanted to. So there's another tweet here. Okay, royal expert Tom Quinn has suggested the Prince of Wales isn't happy with the Sussexes. Speaking exclusively to the Mirror, he claimed, quote, William is absolutely furious and determined to find a way to stop this happening in the future. He's still after Harry. I freaking don't understand why someone else's well-being is his concern. I don't freaking understand this. This guy is mental. Someone need to put him in a mental institution and get help. We don't even know where his wife is. Okay, so let's see here. I think I wrote 3 of them. Right. His dumbass William's action report archive version. There's that here. William's aide play key role in Harry and Meghan's royal exit. There's the link of it. If Harry didn't do all this legal battle to find why he's not getting security, William would be editing the summit agreement to fit his feelings. Alright, so there's this. I have a video. Oops, that's the link. I'll put it in the description. You guys could read it. Okay, his dumbass William action legal document. This is the court document. Again, I'll put the link in the description. You could go and read everything. Download the thing and read it. Okay, the Duke of Sussex, the Secretary of State for the Home Department. Alright, well, that path William chose for Harry and Meghan. Why is he upset with his own decision? William threw his mom and brother under the bus. He's still upset. This is why Harry had to do the court review. William has issue with himself. The world will straighten his dumb ass and make him mind his own and go find Kate. Alright, so this is the article link of this one. Okay, William is always absolutely furious. Raging Bull. There's that here. A lot of screenshot. I put these on my community board. Alright, William should mind his business and think about his dying or dead wife. He has well-documented anger issue. He probably walked around saying, quote, I'm your future king. You shall bow and do as I said. That's me responding to that. They put some Stone Age BS in his head. He probably does, meaning like walking around saying I'm whatever the guy said here. Alright, he wanted Harry to be miserable. That's not what he's saying. So he's pissed. William Windsor is his own worst enemy. He will destroy himself. Harry has the world army behind him. William has royal rats. He should think twice before he act on Harry. Someone responded. Okay, 100% in agreement with you. As heir to the throne, very few accept his late mother. People will say no to him and his bad behavior. He got away with a lot of bad things. With his head filled with crap, he's becoming his own worst enemy, like you said. Shouldn't he be concerned with his wife's health and children? Why is he worrying about two people living in another country? Do what exactly? He hardly talk about his wife, up the Sussex's business 24/7. Okay, William is always absolutely furious or incandescent with rage. It did not Harry and Meghan for the last 4 years, and it won't stop them now. The only thing Peggy will accomplish with his attitude is a stomach ulcer. Really is, was, and will be forever furious. It's always something with him. He's responsible for himself. All right, what is that? Oh, that's an ad. Okay, is suggested now something we should take seriously. There's me here. Okay, my response to a comment above, I think my reply fits perfectly to yours. There's that here. They put Stone Age BS in his head. So that's what I just read above, and I copy it and put it here. Okay, the typical behavior of mediocre people. It is a trait we'll share with his father. It is a mutual shared attitude that all in that institution must hide their light so the monarch and heir can appear outstanding. It is a toxic environment. So glad the Sussex family escaped. Yeah, and then he's not doing anything. He is doing something, but that's bothering other people. But in terms of the people of the UK to help them, he's not doing anything. Although last week or the week before, he went to the kitchen pretending he's cooking, holding the pot, pretending he's cooking without any gloves. Gloves meaning because the pot is hot. Pretending. Okay, all of this thing he was doing, going out to show he's doing something, did not really stick. All right, the blueprint, nobody's, buying it anymore. So his next best thing is to go after his brother again. And then this is what's going to really put a stop to his BS. And I'm telling you, Camilla is loving it. Is loving it. You know why? Because they're not talking about her. Because around this time, the reign of Charles, this is what we should be talking about. How she mistreated his mother, okay, William's mother, and do all this stuff to Diana. Nobody's talking about that. Instead, this dumbass freaking William is focusing on destroying his brother. This is insane. Insane. Okay, when you look at the leftovers, you can see one of the reasons the British media stopped reporting news and have dedicated their lives trying to bring Harry and Meghan to their knees. Look at them. All miserable and lacking charisma and warmth. Not one of these lads can renew interest in the monarchy. What the hell are they wearing? Oh, face. Okay. But where is she? They keep on showing old picture of her. And that Rose woman is everywhere with the other people. I don't report it because I don't want to say stuff. And they're talking about it. And what was it? I think it was last week. These two were out. I think there's something going on between them too. I don't know what it is, but it's not going too well. It's almost like William and Kate kind of thing. I think this is what I mentioned here. I saw something this past week between Ford Fiesta and her hubby. Something is going on. So Kate appears, or they keep including her in the convo without being seen since December 2023. There's that here. Alright, surprised you didn't Photoshop this photo as well. I want to disagree. Oh my God. Okay, you claim you have no time for nonsense, yet that's exactly what you've posted. Okay, you say you want what's best for Scotland. Why don't you focus on that and have right out of mention? I thrown corns, but didn't call any chickens. Okay, what is going on? Okay, I'm off here. I don't know what they're talking about. Let's move on. Next tweet. Okay. Then people across that pond really disappeared that Lady Kate. It came on my timeline. I don't know who's that. Mom, activist, speaker, writer, girl, contact. Okay, that's her contact here. So it came under my timeline and I read it and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Then people across that pond really disappeared that Lady Kate. And it's something that Kate was all for when it was time to come against Meghan, but she forgot the system it's its own. Yikes. That's the thing here. Let me read 6 comments under it here. Threw her under the bus for bad Photoshop. She probably wasn't even thinking about. It twisted, constructed for sure. I don't even think it was her work, okay? I feel like it's not even her who did that Photoshop. Okay, because the institution wants to make people believe she's still alive, she's still part of the conversation, so they threw that Photoshop thing together and claim it was hers. Because at the beginning, when it first came out, who did they say who took the picture? William. Okay, it was a positive thing. Oh, there's a father taking picture of his family. How nice. And then when people start looking closer and said, this is Photoshop, this is altered, and then you see they quickly remove him from the conversation. And then they claim it was Kate who did that. Okay, I wonder, did she see this coming? Or a reader or something? One thing about those tables, they always turn. That's for sure. This is what people forget. That woman was happy and willingly allowed herself to be used against another woman. Love all the attention and supremacy, forgetting that her number enemy is her husband. Yep. She didn't learn from Princess Diana. It's giving Tessie and the lottery. The royal Karen didn't think she'd be thrown under the bus too. Look at this. Even their friend don't even mention her. For them, they're still in La La Land, believe that she's well and whatever the palace put out. And they are hard launching the mistress. Yep, I see that too. She's hanging out with Camilla. Mistress to semi-queen pathway unlocked. I saw her and her kids are out with the royals. William ugly long tooth as is diabolical, just like his swole daddy. What Camilla's doing right now, okay? Camilla is a freaking evil, but bright evil. She's preparing her place in William's throne. So she's probably catering to them. If Charles were to pass away, what's gonna happen to her? Okay, she's bringing the other one under her wing, saying you're welcome, you this and that. So when William become king, okay, so she could still in control of them or have a spot somewhere, instead of William kicking her ass out of there and say go wherever you belong. Okay, so she's positioning herself because she's a mole, in my humble opinion, for the tabloid. The tabloid need her in there. Okay, because for the tabloid, they want to be able to do whatever it is that they want, and then they could hide behind the institution to forgive them, so they don't be prosecuted, so they don't do all this, go to jail for whatever it is. But they need her in there. So she's starting to position herself in the institution. Now, knowing, God forbid, if what we assume happened to Kate, and then she's willing to help William cover William's bad behavior for that. So this is her ticket, holding against William, and said, you better include me. God forbid if Charles passed. When Charles passed and when William become the kingdom, she could hold that against William. Okay? So if William is smart enough, knowing that once he become king, he cannot be prosecuted, and throw that dumbass out, no matter what happened to her. Yeah, it's just receipt she's keeping and then starting to position herself. Okay, I could see it already. Once you put your mind into those people's bad behavior, you could see their steps 1, 2, 3. Okay, she forgot women are expendable in that family. Well, and my word, what a price to pay. Okay, I thought this was about the new Bridgerton season and was so concerned. It really could be. All right, let's leave that alone. Go to the next tweet. Because in a few, I had to wake up my family, my kids for school. Okay, so there's that here. Okay. Whew. Wow, Angela Levin sounds senile in this clip. Isn't in every clip that she talk about? Okay, let's see here. Royal reporters, Harry is scared. How do they know that? Okay, Harry is scared. There's a whole bunch of hashtag 33 seconds. I'm telling you, if they sue her, let's listen. Screenshots, okay?
Well, I think that poor Harry is squashed to pieces, really. I think when he wrote his book about the spare, he didn't think that maybe he would be a spare now. And
Oh, you think he's a spare in
What?
his own marriage?
yes.
What?
Meghan pushes.
What? What? Yeah, I said what 3 times now. He didn't think, when he wrote spare, he didn't think he would be a spare now. What in the name? Let me rewind it.
Now. And
Oh, you think he's a spare in his own marriage?
yes.
Oh, please.
Meghan pushes him,
What?
pulls him. If she wants to go on, if she's bored somewhere, as we saw with filming from Africa, you know, she pulls him away and gives him a look, and he.
What the hell? Harry even said in one of those appearances with the military, Meghan wasn't there. He literally said, I know some of you wanted to see my wife, but due to, I'm paraphrasing, hopefully I found it, that clip so I could insert it, that due to time, they don't have that much time in Nigeria, and his wife have other meetings to attend to. But he wanted to come there to see the military people, the vets, and those who were injured by himself. This is a mission he wanted to do by himself.
For facilitating this visit to Kaduna. I'll keep this very short because time is short and we must get to the hospital to meet as many troops as possible. I'm very sorry that I didn't bring my wife up to Kaduna. I can see that you wanted to see her, but this trip was important for me to do by myself, and she has separate meetings in Abuja. Your words, I feel your words of encouragement and of support. Thank you, and thank you for everything that you do, your service to this community. The focus of this trip up here is obviously the wounded, injured and sick men and women who serve the Nigerian forces to keep people safe. And having founded the Invictus Games over 10 years ago, Nigeria was the first African nation to join last year in Germany with 10 fantastic human beings. And as we had a conversation with the Chief of Defence Staff a few hours earlier, he acknowledged the smiles on their faces and the fact that that opportunity, that moment, being part of the Invictus community, put a smile back on their face. So when you talk about lifting the spirits, that is what we are here to do, and we will build on that morale and show that anyone that is caught in the line of fire, that their life, despite injury, is not over, and that they and their families can continue on, and that sport will be a very useful way for rehabilitation. So, without wanting to take up more of your time, I thank you.
How the hell is this woman for real? Oh, okay, I'm gonna start all over without me saying a damn thing. Hopefully I don't have anything to say.
Well, I think that poor Harry is squashed to pieces, really. I think when he wrote his book about the spare, he didn't think that maybe he would be a spare now. And
Oh, you think he's a spare in his own marriage?
yes, Meghan pushes him, pulls him. If she wants to go on, if she's bored somewhere, as we saw with filming from Africa, you know, she pulls him away and gives him a look, and he leaves immediately. He's obviously scared. I think he's very frightened of her.
What in the name?
That poor Harry is squashed to pieces, really. I think when he wrote his book about this.
Meanwhile, there's a video when I believe they were at a dinner or reception or something. Harry saying how much he loved her. This woman is Val. It's time to sue her. She can't just keep going on TV and keep making allegations up as if they are facts. She has been telling lies after lies, and sadly people believe this woman. Time to make her pay for her slandering. This is freaking ridiculous. I'm not even gonna read that. Okay, that's probably when she knew about, oh, you know, there it is. Feel free to read it. Pause it and read it. Oh my God, this guy is evil. Look evil. Okay, the continual platform given to Angela Levin by the toxic British media for spreading falsehood and fabrication paints a disheartening picture of the citizen who lend their belief to her unfounded claims despite 7 years having passed, the persistence and amplifying her. Let's see here. Oh shit, this is long. Okay. Despite 7 years having passed, the persistence and amplifying her deceitful narrative showcases a concerning aspect of those who subscribed to her malicious contentions. From baseless accusations such as Kate donating a kidney to unfounded stories about Harry's alleged fear of his own wife, the relentless perpetration of lies only serve to highlight the venomous and relentless nature of the media portrayal. The targeted and vindictive smear campaign against Harry and Meghan, sustained for over 7 years, not only reflect poorly on the British citizen who endorsed such behavior, but also cast a shadow of misogyny and a spite over a nation that should strive for fairness and truthfulness, and a world that observes this ongoing spectacle. The implication extend beyond the couple themselves, shedding an unfavorable light on the value and belief that seems to guide certain faction of British society. Not my king, Australia Republic. Okay, so this person must be in Australia. Okay, I just went there. Martha's off again. The only one that is scared of whose wife is old Charlie Boy. He can't get from the hooves standing on his neck of Camilla Deville. Hate campaign. This woman is not well. This elder abuse. This bitch is so out of touch. I just can't. My goodness. This is very sad. I don't know. At some point, I guess Harry will have to sue to stop this nonsense, because if they have to pay, this is freaking crazy. Alright, next tweet. I used to think it was just laziness, but there is, in my opinion, something wrong with Prince William. A reason why he doesn't work more and why this family doesn't seem to care. Okay, so she retweeted that the don't know will move to abolish as the monarchy becomes even less relevant. The story that they work hard is never going to apply to Kate and William. They live a life of luxury and people are going to get sick of that. It could end quickly the way the Berlin Wall came down. Okay, I saw this a long time ago, and I remember that was like back in 2020, and I was like, the thing that I was saying, and I was like, why they doing this? They have a country where they have a say, even though they say they're not part of the government or something, but there is a connection. When people chase them out, where are they going to go? And I think I gave the example of Prince Philip family who had to leave Greece. So where are they gonna go if people are chasing them out with that type of behavior? Okay, agree. The frequent incandescent with rage is a hint. You can't convince me that the press doesn't hate him personally. Also, Tendo coming out to what did Tendo do? Address a drinking problem is what? See, I don't follow them. I don't know. Wait, what? Some BS like one beer really? Okay, I don't know. That's an ad. Okay, there are some issues there. His expression is almost always angry. He can sometimes pull a smile out of his ass, but it's kind of shocking how often cameras find him looking incredibly tense in public. Like I said, he's a robot. When he's around people, he can't behave well. Okay, he has to move in a robotic fashion. He has to know what comes next, this and that. This is why they want to get into people's business, so they could behave a certain way. So when they don't know what Harry and Meghan are doing, so they can function, because they are in the mode of competing. I don't know why. Okay, I will also feel bad for, what's that, Kate? Okay, I will also feel bad for Kate if she wasn't such a mean girl herself. Kate still hits their photo marks. William does not. All right. Okay, I do feel bad for Kate. It's been reported for years before Meghan was on Harry's radar that both she and William are verbally abusive. Add that to the bandages she always has and the cancer diagnosis. I think there's a reason their home isn't open for garden parties. Okay, like you said though, she is a mean girl, and it does make it hard to show more than concern for her health. Okay, I think he is serious on the spectrum and has never been diagnosed. Okay, he's checked out. I mean, Princess Diana already told us about each of the boys. Now look at this. Harry Princess Diana already said Harry would have been a better king. And then Princess Diana said Harry will have all the fun. What is Harry having here? But the brother who has everything under his disposal still cannot find joy. And this is why he said money is the root of all evil, and he still can find joy having everything. Okay, just done 2 search on Royal Diary, April to June with Zil's pencil for bills. So when UK media report he's done, report he's done something that appeared to be a big fat lies, smoke and mirrors, something not right. Okay, what did she search here? Prince of Wales 2021 to 5/2024. Okay. What? Okay. I have to switch the thing around, the way they write the dates. So this is the day, this is the month. So why would she put 6? We're not in June yet. We are in May. Okay, so of course she's not gonna find anything. Official engagement to be undertaken by members of the royal family are published up to 8 weeks in advance. Search our online database for the latest future event. Okay, so I see why. She went to June. Okay, because they said they usually have it in advance, so she goes up to a month. June, there's nothing. No result found. So he's not doing a damn thing. So what else did he do here? Okay. Till June, official engagement, nothing. What else? Okay, so is that the same thing? No result found. Okay, these are the same date. Why she put all 4 again? I realized while I'm editing, she put different month. Okay, again, I had to switch around the way they write the dates and outside of the US. So she put different months, but the same day is the 21st from whatever month till June 21st. All right, I just realized that while I'm editing. All right, so let's see here. He was raised to be this way, extreme privilege, absolutely unaccountability, nothing but praise and servility from those who should have held him accountable. The result can be nothing less than a lesser man. That is true. Okay, I've posted about it before, but a great whack to the head with a golf club, fracturing. It's not funny. And I read this in one of my tweet videos before where he got hit in the head. And I think there's another part where he broke his arm. Almost the same thing with his father. His father fell off the horse and broke his arm. So he's repeating the same thing. Okay, and you could see probably the same pattern is gonna pass on to the son. Okay, I've posted about it before, but a great whack to the head with a golf club fracturing your skull at 8 years old, at 8 years of age, will do permanent damage to part of your brain. Alright, so there's 2 comments under this here. Okay, so that's the receipt. Feel free to pause and read. But why was he whacked? Okay. I've posted about it before. Okay, that's the one I just read. There's a whole book, very good, on how laziness isn't real. There's always an actual problem or lack of resources behind it. Will isn't the latter case, so there is a reason why. Alright, what's the reason why? Okay, yes, very interesting in his book. Title of the book. Alright, title. They're asking for the title. My impression is that William has low self-esteem and is self-loathing, made worse by the fact that Harry and Meghan are likable and engaging. I think he put pressure on Kate Middleton to measure up when he himself couldn't. I've said this. Some people must be watching my videos. What happened was that before Meghan came into the picture, okay, everything was fine. They're getting the praise, but what is it? William had Kate and Harry to be thrown under the bus. Because from what I read, I was not following them, but screenshot, receipt from past things that happened before, they used to throw Kate under the bus. Okay? But nothing negative about William. And we already know the story of Harry. But what happened is that when Meghan got into the picture, and I even did a video of that, and I said, why something about Meghan, why they copying Meghan when they got what they wanted? Okay, remember what they wanted from a woman is to zip their mouth, like that anchor said, that presenter said, she zip her mouth, she doesn't talk, she doesn't this, she's a mute woman. Okay?
One of the reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned, mute woman.
Take note, Nicola. There it is. Right.
That part. She is, or she was, what they always wanted. She didn't talk. She let them manipulate her whichever way, I don't know, which the doormat came into play. And then when Meghan came into the picture, she's doing speeches, she's doing things, she's doing a lot of things. Now they're pressuring her, be like Meghan, do speeches like her. You could see many times when she's holding a paper reading, her hand is trembling. All they needed to do, which Princess Diana had put a blueprint for them, take her out of the public eye, or hopefully that's what she's doing right now. We haven't seen her since December. Educate her to what you want her to do. Prepare her. Get her to do speeches. Learn to do speeches. Be comfortable. You know, look how Meghan do her speeches. And I've seen Harry's speech have improved as well. You could see when Harry's doing speeches now, he put some personal touch, his own little experience, so some form. Okay, include his own personal experience into the speeches. Make it more like he's talking to a friend. Okay, so you got all the blueprint. Instead of going full-blown evil, copy the good things that they're doing. But they're not about that. They are about destroying, eliminate, and all of that to look good. But they got the freaking spotlight. What are they doing with it? Absolutely nothing. They're displaying more mediocre and let people aware of their stupidity and their evilness. That Princess Diana left blueprint for them. Harry and Meghan are the perfect blueprint where they could copy. Okay, not their clothes. Forget about their clothes. You could put the cheap clothes and still do good things. Not copying what they wore, the shoes. This is irrelevant. Do things. Show people what you're capable of doing. Be more well, I was gonna say be more relatable, but he still look weird next to people. But anyway, let me read what's there and then move on. Bottom here. What happened to Thomas Kingston? Right, that's to comment. Let me leave that alone. I don't want to say things. You know that one relative we all have, the one who has anger issue but is the nice guy to outsiders and dresses well, the one who gets away with everything. Well, family will always protect the worst of their lot. Alright, so the other ones I think I read them already. Right, my impression is that William has low self-esteem and is self-loathing, made worse by the fact that Harry and Meghan are likable and engaging. I think he put pressure on Kate Middleton to measure up when he himself couldn't. Wouldn't surprise me if he drinks, is his coping mechanism. The other thing I would like to add to this, another point of this, is that remember when the Queen father died, the king, and then the Queen took over, this is where the courtiers went to work. Okay? They went to work to establish this type of institution. Alright, they start working on Charles. These evil people, they have time. They're just waiting for opportunity to sneak in and to any infiltrated, any hole. This is why we need to pray every day, because the evil always waiting for when you're not looking. So the evilness took place when the king passed. And then you have a young queen, even though the father was probably training her. But once the king passed, and then the courtiers start telling the queen, this is how you're supposed to do this, this is how you're supposed to do that. Full-blown BS, in my opinion. And she never double-checked it. She never double-checked what they're telling her. So if they got away with a small one at first, okay, to see if the queen will catch on to them, they went through. She then double check on them, and then they threw another one. She then check. So they keep on adding and adding, and then boom. Okay, take the son, start training him to be a scaredy cat. make him afraid of the tabloid, make him believe the tabloid is what he need. Instead, the people. Once you please the people, you don't need to worry about a damn thing after that. Okay? And then get the queen, booked her, send her overseas, do all sort of stuff. Okay? Separate them two, and then train Charles to be what it is. And then the queen, I think later on, realized the BS of a son that she got. This is why she stayed until her last breath. And I don't think it was her who took her last breath. They made her took the last breath. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. It's not funny. Because they couldn't wait anymore. Because since Brexit, these people were starting to align. You see the triangle. You know, from when you look at the triangle, the two corners, large corners, going to meet. And then they couldn't wait. They were like, come on, the US is doing its thing. You got Trump. We need to hurry up. This kind of thing. And then boom. I told you, go look PYTE. All of my videos from PYTE. Some of the things that I was saying. And then YouTube make me put them down. I don't know which one I have up. But I was warning you guys. I saw it coming. And then I truly believe they trained Charles from the time that the queen got onto her position. Okay, when the king passed. I truly believe. I didn't read this anywhere. This is purely my opinion. Okay, I didn't read this anywhere. I didn't see anything. I'm just reading between the line. Even with their BS they put out, many of their BS are not true. You know, they cover up their BS. I'm just reading between the line. Because I could only imagine it's when the king passed where they start building up on this. And then once they start giving the queen false information and the queen never proofread or double checked and she take them at their own word and then they keep on, you know, make her approve the courtier's own agenda. That's what it is. Okay? And then Charles become what it is, and then you see Princess Diana. Now let's bring Princess Diana into the mix. Princess Diana was completely opposite of them. Now Princess Diana was gonna fix what they did to Charles onto William. Okay? She started teaching them, both boys, all the good things that needs to be done to become a king. Okay? In their own respectable way. Now Princess Diana was opposite of them. This is not what they want. And then you see where Princess Diana landed. And you see the difference between the two boys. Okay? What Harry is, it what could have been of William. But the courtier reverse, retrain, reprogram William to what they want him to be. And even make him talk against his own mother. Okay? The UK is masterful at psychology. I've told you that. They made him talk against his own mother.
I would like to thank Lord Dyson and his team for the report. It is welcome that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full, which are extremely concerning. That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia, displayed woeful incompetence when investigating complaints and concerns about the programme, and were evasive in their reporting to the media and covered up what they knew from their internal investigation. It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said. The interview was a major contribution to making my parents' relationship worse and has since hurt countless others.
The most damaging charge that is made in relation to your marriage is that you were, because of your relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles.
It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said.
From the beginning, persistently unfaithful to your wife and thus caused the breakdown.
It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said.
What is your response to that persistent criticism?
Oh, that's the persistent criticism, is it? Well, and the trouble is, you see, that these things, again, as I was saying earlier, are so personal. It's difficult to know quite how to, to talk about these things in front of everybody. And obviously, I don't think many people would want to. But I mean, all I can say is that there's been so much speculation, feeding on every other kind of speculation. It all becomes bigger and bigger. I mean, all I can say is that there is no truth in so much of this speculation. And Mrs. Parker Bowles is a great friend of mine.
It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said.
I have a large number of friends. I'm terribly lucky to have so many friends who I think are wonderful and make the whole difference to my life, which would become intolerable otherwise. And she has been a friend for a very long time, and along with a lot of other friends, and will continue to be a friend for a very long time.
It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said.
And I think also most people probably would realize that when marriages break down, awful and miserable as that is, that so often, that it is your friends who are the most important and helpful and understanding and encouraging. Otherwise, you would go stark raving mad. And that's what friends are for.
Understandably, when your marriage collapsed, you form close friendships, you re-establish close friendships of whatever character that friendship is. Did you try to be faithful and honourable to your wife when you took on the vow of marriage?
Yes, absolutely.
And look at Harry right now.
That she started a campaign in the British press to pave the way for a marriage, and you wrote, I even wanted Camilla to be happy. Maybe she'd be less dangerous if she was happy.
Mm-hmm.
How was she dangerous?
Because of the need for her to rehabilitate her image.
That made her dangerous?
That made her dangerous because of the connections that she was forging within the British press. And there was open willingness on both sides to trade of information. And with a family built on hierarchy, and with her on the way to being Queen Consort, there was going to be people or bodies left in the street because of that.
Okay? And then look at what the brother is doing to the other brother. William is doing to Harry. All right? So there's that. I've seen it. Okay? Pure humble opinion. Let me go to the next tweet. Okay. It's almost time. I have like 8 minutes to wake up my son. All right, this is Henry VIII. I don't know where Kate Middleton is. Nobody knows. What I do know is that if Harry hadn't left with his family, the royals and their press goons will be doing violent things to the Sussexes right now in order to distract from her absence. Who knows? Maybe she will still be there, and then their focus would have been on something different, because I think the pressure they're putting on her, and she cannot cope, or she cannot measure up to, or she cannot do what they say. And he snapped, in my humble opinion. He snapped and said, if you cannot do it, then I need someone else to do it. And this is why I said, when they were getting married, Charles could have done that. William could have done that. When they are marrying women, the institution, let the women know what you need out of them, so you don't do all these stupid things. I want you to produce, and that's it. And then get the F out of there. All right? That's it. There are women who will do that. Who will be more than happy to do that for you. So they need to tell women they're marrying with what they want from them. They just want an heir. Now, once they do that, get the woman out of the picture. Because if you're gay, you could still go and do your thing. They need to specify specifically what they want out of the women. Now, kids, young girls who are growing, who is George's name, who is what's the other boy name? Okay, they need, the parents of those kids around this age needs to start looking and train their kids, because you just never know if they're gonna land one of your daughters. Okay, be prepared, because this is a cycle. If these people are still in existence, this is the cycle of the institution. And then by then, okay, from William's experience right now, anything after that, you should have known better. You should have known better. You've seen Princess Diana. You've seen Kate. You see how they treated Meghan. And thank God Harry was smart enough to leave. Okay, you see the pattern. Any parents who have young girls, learn. You don't need the institution to tell you. You don't need a book to tell you. Look at reality. Your eyes, your ears could tell you. Look at what's happening and learn from it. Start telling your daughters, when you see these type of things, blam, 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 this is what you're supposed to do. If you want this lifestyle, this is what could happen to you. Are you capable of putting up with this BS? When they don't want you, they erase you. Okay, this is the thing many parents who have girls should start looking at and age appropriate. Okay, age appropriate. Start letting them know what the institution does to girls. Because if you're waiting until you're there, that's your own fault. But believe me, if I'm still alive, after George Williams' kids, if they get married, anything that happened to the girls, I'll be like, hey, I'll feel sorry for them, but I will not be surprised. I will not go and talk against it or anything. You could refer back to this video and say, look, I told you so. Okay? These women, they are freaking blind by material stuff. So get these things out of your system. Focus on the basics, what really matter. Family. Look, okay, you don't even need me to tell you that. Look at the difference between the two brothers. Okay? The two brothers. You have one who's working his butt off to provided for his family, and he is happy with his wife. You see the docuseries, he's playing with his child, and now with his children, and all of that. And look at the other one who has everything. Just go cut ribbon and say he's doing work. He's miserable. Perfect example. You don't even need me to explain to you. Look at the two brothers. Okay? Alright. What else? Let me read this. Do you think Harry knows more or less what has happened or has been shut out from knowing via other UK-based family friends? There's a possibility when he flew to see his father when the father had cancer, they might let him in into certain things. Okay? But Harry is someone who doesn't say much about people's business. Even though the tabloid claim the institution don't trust him and all that, this is pure BS. Even in the Obama Foundation thing, when the 4 panelists, very rarely I show that part, but you need to go to the Obama Foundation and watch that video entirely because I cannot do it. I will show you a portion of it, what I'm making reference to. There were, I think, 3 panelists. He brought 3 young people he brought in. He was helping or highlight their work. One of the panelists, a young lady who had some issues, okay? Harry did not want to say it because he knew about her personal life. And then he didn't want to say it and allow the young lady to explain himself.
So Chantal Stefanovic is going to come out, Stefanovic, and David Peterson, they're coming right out. And this is a real life example. You to help me introduce Chantal's story because we're going to start with her. One of your programs is called Full Effect. And Full Effect is
It's one of their programs. Well,
where the Royal Foundation has gotten deeply involved. Is that fair to say? Adopted would not be the right word, but certainly you've created it together in some ways, right?
In short, before I went to Afghanistan in 2012, turned around to the Royal Foundation said, please find somewhere where a community which is suffering from youth violence and knife crime, of which we can go into and try and help them. But it's got to be led by them. And then I think it was April 2013, arrived in Nottingham, chosen by the Royal Foundation, and met this incredible group of young people that, in their way, were trying to do everything they could, but had been let down so many times by other organizations and other people. Not just some people had struggled. Once again, they come in thinking they knew exactly how to do it, and they were a letdown. And you could see it in their faces. So all we wanted to do was try to work out what already existed. You know, CRS existed, the community recording studio, headed up by Trevor Rose, and Epic Partners, of which Chantal was part of. Those 2 organizations existed. I think they worked 200 meters apart in St. Anne's, in Nottingham. They'd never met each other.
Okay.
So that was a classic example of us coming and going, right, who do you guys recommend? They said them and them. Right, you guys interested in working together? Let's make this happen. And it was all led by them.
So Chantel, will you tell us a little bit first about your story before we get into the work that you do as a program coordinator for Full Effect? Yeah. So just tell us about how you grew up, because I think in America, we have movies like James Bond that lead us to romanticize all of the UK. And we don't think of the UK having communities like Nottingham, which have had violence and very, very tough situations. I read dating back to the 1800s. Yeah. It's gone on for a very long time. You grew up in a really tough circumstance. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
So yeah, I grew up in St. Anne's.
I love this story. And David, I promise I'm coming to you. You're touring Nottingham, and she gives you a letter, right?
Touring.
Well, I mean, you're visiting.
Me and my band, yeah.
I didn't mean it that. I mean, but you're going around observing conditions and issues. I'm certainly not meaning to make light that are pretty significant. And this woman comes up to you and gives you a letter.
There was a group of them actually in the community recording studio, and the whole point was I was going to be there, and we were going to have an open discussion and talk about the issues of which these guys were facing, and hopefully get to some solutions.
But she didn't want to talk.
She was the only person that decided not to talk, and then handed me a letter afterwards.
I was the only female in the room as well. And
out of how many people?
There was about 12 to 13. I was the only female, and a lot of these people that were around me, you know, I lived in that area, and for a long time you hold what's happened to you very close to your heart, and you don't want to express it because you don't want people to judge you. And because I lived around those people, you know, I just felt a little bit uncomfortable, so I forced a letter on him instead.
So you planned it. You said, I'm going to write a letter before I see, and then you read the letter. What did the letter say?
The letter was her life story on well, actually it wasn't your life story. It was as much as you could say on a two-sided piece of A4, because she quite understandably didn't want to share most of the stuff that she'd been through, which is pretty harrowing. She didn't want to share that amongst that group of people. So she decided to say, right, you need to know my backstory. You need to know exactly what happens in this community. There it is. It's in a letter. So, and I really respect and admire that. But it was exactly what I needed to know, that we were in the right place.
And then afterwards, you two have had this great partnership, the foundation and Full Effect, and you've actually developed a friendship. I mean, I watched you together. You seem very comfortable with each other. Is that odd to you? Does that seem unusual? I mean, I feel even odd asking, you know?
At first, I think the first time we ever met, I don't think I could say my name properly. It was...
Do you text?
It was breathed out. It's like, Chantel. And that was it. So, but then as time went on, you know, Harry is an amazing person. He's very inspiring. He makes you very relaxed, and he listens. It was the first time that someone came to our community and listened to us, and, you know, didn't tell us what we needed to do or how to fix ourselves. He was more intrigued about us and what he could do for us instead of anything else. So, yeah, he was really, really inspirational.
Herself, I should say. Okay, I'm starting to get worried about Kate. I think the next time we hear anything will be her death notice. This is getting really weird. I mean, I don't know. I put allegedly on every time that I talk about her because I don't know for a fact. All this stuff, the clues, I told you guys, the picture, the mother picture thing, this is where they were starting to a new foundation of script, how things was gonna go. But that foundation dead on arrival because people questioned the picture, so they couldn't go with that. Then they start the next foundation, which is the walkabout, and then people said that's not Kate, so they couldn't go with that narrative. So the next one was the cancer thing. This is where we at now. And now one of the things that I say about the cancer thing, because cancer is one of the deadliest disease that is out there. Usually if you catch it late, you most likely will die from it. So this is the next thing that they're going with. Okay, there's the cancer. You don't see her. You don't do this. Now they easing you into letting you know she's gone. Probably if they do the funeral, it's gonna be a casket with nobody in there. Okay, she's probably gone already. Now, in my humble opinion, I do not know for a fact, but these people lie too much. I have to put things in perspective, plug in the BS with reality, I should say. Right, what is that? Okay, that's an ad. I'm not gonna go over it. Let's be honest, if Harry hadn't left with his family, Meghan would probably be the missing boy. Could be, but that would be, I don't know, they got away with so many things. This is my last one. I have 2 others, but it's for PYTE. They're more positive things. Poopa, imagine only finding out at age 75 that the world doesn't revolve around you and people can travel where they like when they like. Abolish the monarchy. King Charles angrier than anyone has ever seen him at Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's Nigeria trip. This is why they took the HR away from them, because they thought, okay, if you're not his or her Royal Highness, nobody can open door for you. This is the BS they keep to themselves. They think this is like air and water, but when in fact it's just a word. All right, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's recent trip to Nigeria has reportedly left King Charles angrier than anyone has ever seen him, as the royal family are said to be worried. That's his problem. All right, are they sure about that? I was joking about this one. Okay, it's not his portrait he's upset at, just saying. If that is the case though, King Charles III is not doing his kingly duty. Why is he looking across the pond of 2 people who left his kingdom to live peacefully someplace else? He should focus on helping his subject of his kingdom. Question, when they went there, did they use royal titles? Okay, if yes, then they have all the right to call them on. Remember, Harry is a blood prince. Harry is a blood prince. He will always be a blood prince. So when they call him as Prince Harry or Duke of Sussex, okay, that's the people's choice of calling him, which is still his name. They are non-working royals, so they should not use them to monetize. Okay, they were not there to monetize anything. They were there to highlight Invictus. All right, let's see here. They monetized nothing from Nigeria. It was an Invictus trip. Thank you. Yes, they are using the title that they said they did not want. Call them just Harry, remember? And after change, I need to block this person. Eva, take your meds, dear. Okay, and so Andrew, Fergie, Beatrice, Eugenie, and a bunch of other anonymous royals. Those titles mean nothing, or the king will get the most attention, followed by the heir, but nobody cares about them. Right, so there's that here. Talk to me like I'm 4. Why can't the king's only child, not embroiled and scandal, use his title at his own discretion? Okay, if title meant anything, then Pa and Will be the most popular royals. But guess what? Just call me Harry, has all the love and attention in the world. Titles key you. Okay, I cannot read that nonsense. All right, so let me, where's that person, that Eva person? Alright, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I need to wake up my son. Thank you for watching.
Bianca. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better